Hey guys, it's Nate, aka the Foot Accountant. Welcome back to the channel. More Player of the Month SBC hype has arrived as another vote has started, but we're getting really close to some of these SBCs actually releasing an FC26 as soon as today, potentially. I want to get prepared today for the Erling Haaland Premier League, the maybe Harry Kane Bundesliga, Serie A, Christian Pulisic, and now League One Player of the Month SBCs that could be coming out soon, along with a couple of other votes that are ending, and also get prepared by maybe investing in a couple of cards and talking about those market implications for those Player of the Month SBCs in this next week. Also, speaking of the market, we got to talk about trading and hopefully how trading becomes really good in the next 2 days, as hopefully the market, since we've had these huge drops on the weekend, kind of levels out a little bit and creates a really good opportunity to fluctuation trade some cards and not have to worry about player prices dropping that much, but also have the ability to make some coins. We're going to look into that, and then the other content we're expecting today, more player SBCs and upgrade pack SBCs, the usual on a Monday in FC26. Let's get into it, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now we're going to start with yesterday's Sunday content, where it was a really quiet day in evolutions. Now we did have a new Evo yesterday, but it is the leaked silver right mid evolution that takes your card up to an 83 rated gold for most of the cards that you're putting into this. And the upgrade here is not terrible. Max 74 overall, right mid only, max 4 playstyles only as well. Some nice stat boost. Again, not super crazy, but some nice ones. You get the rapid playstyle, you get winger plus, and you get first touch playstyle as well. But the common theme when I look through this Evo here and look through the players that come out of it is this is an 83 rated card after being evolved. That does not look like an 83 rated card to me. Now, there are some that do look pretty good, and maybe check your club for a few of these players because they are up in price on the market, but a lot of these silvers have had a lot of hype already, and they were already inflated. Gabriel Silva, right? Crazy expensive. Gnonto, Bob, Duranville, George. You know, there's some cards that look maybe actually worthy of an 83 overall rating here, but definitely not all of them. I like that the Evo is free, so if you want to do it and you've got a player that looks really good in it for you personally, then absolutely go ahead and do it. But we still wait Evos that actually bring some hype. Again, we've talked about it like seemingly every day, but that's probably one of the biggest changes of content from FC25 to FC26 that still just hasn't sat right with us, and how evolutions have been super, super different this year to start off 26. Now, yesterday's content and SBCs continued with a Cornerstones Challenge for SBC that is very easy to do for a small Prime Electrum Players Pack. That's worth doing for the tradable pack. I got to get the Mega Pack done from the Friday SBC before it expires today at the content drop as well. Make sure you do that one. And the other SBC we had yesterday was Benrahma. It's a Squad Foundations card here. It is very cheap to do. Literally 3 squads. I don't know why they made it 3 squads. 81, 82, 83. They could have just made it like 184 squad, kind of how like they did the Alyssa Thompson and what like this Nichelle Price, like super duper cheap. But this is a pretty decent card actually. 4-star, 4-star, 5'8", 86 dribble, 87 pace, left mid, left wing, and cam. Really good dribbling stats, great pace, decent shooting and passing, and it does have finesse tech and whipped pass with inside forward plus plus. So if you need some Saudi League links there, another Saudi League card that you can go ahead and get right now and get linked up on this game. And of course, the last thing for content from yesterday, and the biggest thing, is the brand new live event tournament, the Cornerstones Tournament Qualifier, which once again, we have 5 entries each and every day for the next couple of days to then qualify for the finale. So if you win all 4 matches and get to the final and win the final of this qualifier tournament, you will unlock the objective, of course, which will unlock you the finale tournament. Of course, there are objectives that are aligned with this. If you go to the objective section, in the live event tab, you will see that we have a Chardonnay objective card inside of here and some packs as well. Actually, it's in, no, it's right here. It's right here in the live events tab. Cornerstones Tournament Qualifier. Chardonnay is the group reward. You have to win the tournament twice to get his card. I don't necessarily know if that's super worth it for most of us. 5'11", center back only player. Great defending stats, play styles as well, and defender plus plus. Needs an evo for pace though, probably. But, you know, it's got to be a 1 tournament twice thing here where you get the team of the week embellishment and also the arrow spin cosmetic Evo as well as an 84 plus pack. So if that's really worth it to you, you could go ahead and try to win this thing twice in the next couple of days. And if it's not, just win it once like I will probably do, and get yourself qualified into that finale. And then, of course, we'll see some better rewards for that and probably a bit more of a sweaty competition on Thursday of this week for the finale of that tournament. Now, yesterday was also squad battle rewards, and we got to talk about the market right here and right now because the market was moving really good yesterday. There were a lot of prices that moved up across the board. My big investment was Kimmich. He didn't do that great. We also talked about Mbumo in yesterday's video. I bought all these for less than 9K, sold them for 11. Actually, early tip and hint here, I'm buying him again today because I think he's a card a lot of people are buying for that Cornerstones tournament. Since it's a max 84 rated squad, you can only have one player over 86 rated or 86 and above. And since you can't have any other 86s, I think a lot of people are using 84s and 85s. So I think that's one of the reasons why his price did so well yesterday. But his price wasn't the only one that did well yesterday. It was a lot of prices. Guys, that middle tier, once again, those prices we saw pre-squad battle rewards, if you bought during this window, you got incredible prices. Isak, who I was actually lucky enough to pack yesterday, had my biggest pack pull of the year so far. He's a great card so far. I'm getting used to using him in game. Love the finesse plus and his height and pace, but he was all the way down under 75,000 coins, rebounded up to 88, and even after content yesterday, we saw prices rise a bit more since the content was pretty quiet, all the way to 90K for Isak. Here's another one that I'm just thinking off the top of the noggin here that went really up in price yesterday was Jamal Musiala. He was, I believe, 80,000 coins. Yeah, 81K, went all the way to 100. And even right now, he's back down a little bit. That's why, as I look at this Isak as well and a couple of other players, I think there's a reinvestment opportunity here, a situation where we could pick up some cards to fluctuation trade with today on Monday. That's why I picked up Mbumo, right? I was buying him here under 9K. He went all the way up to 12 to 13. But now he's back down to 10. So if he goes back up to 12 to 13 today, especially if I can sell him for maybe 14K with a Hunter or a Hawk or another chemistry style on his card, which all the ones that I bought do have a chemistry style on them, hopefully I can make some even more profit on that sort of card today. Or like a Gravenberch. This is a shout I would have for you right now. Gravenberch went from 58K yesterday all the way up to 68 after content in kind of a spike here. And I believe right now he's back down to 60,000 coins. So I think there is opportunity in this market, even as you wake up today on Monday, where, you know, the content looks like it's going to be pretty slow. We don't have fear in the market, and that's the difference this week from the last couple of weeks, is we don't have a lot of people scared right now for a hero pack or for an icon pack. We have a little bit of a rumblings of news of an icon pack that we'll discuss in today's video, but nothing super crazy. Sure, there could be leaks down the line this week that do change some things, and I'm not saying you want to buy players for your teams today necessarily, but I think there's going to be opportunities to trade today with a market that could be a little bit more stagnant instead of just tanking in price like we saw over the weekend. I think heroes and icons would be a great place to be trading today. Yesterday, we were shouting out on the stream Doumbia, who's dropped a ton in price, right? He was down at 400,000 coins flat. He went back up to about 450, kind of where he is right now. These heroes and icons are still fluctuating a lot, even though their prices have come down, and they're rare, and that makes them great cards to be trading with today. Same thing with other out-of-pack specials from like Cornerstones Team 1, Team of the Weeks 1 and 2 as well. I'd put into that list there. Now, I want to talk about Cornerstones Team 2 here for a second because I actually think there's investment potential with these cards today as well. I think a lot of people want to use these, and their prices moved pretty well in the market. Joel Neves yesterday went from 160K up to 190. I bought Balde for 290, sold it for 320 for just a short, quick flip there. And Stiller, a very popular card, probably the most popular card of this team, went from 25K yesterday up to 32 and is still here. I think that this might be a buying window for these cards, and we might actually see them rise up into today on Monday, into tomorrow as Foot Champs ends, and then maybe on Wednesday they do dip back down again. But sometimes, and we got to be ready for this year, maybe more than last year, the cheapest windows to buy Impact's promo teams was usually either Sunday or it was on Thursday. But this year on Thursdays, again, we do not have a lot of pack supply with rewards. It's mostly just coins that are given out. It's a lot less pack supply than previous years, at least right now with the way the rewards look. So that makes me think that maybe some of these cards could be near their lower points earlier in the week. Maybe yesterday at Squad Battle Rewards was the absolute lowest for the Angelo Stiller card that a lot of people are excited in, or maybe an ADM you try to snag down here close to 400,000 coins, or Joao Neves for 160, and maybe this rises for the next 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, into Wednesday, and then after Thursday rewards before they go out of packs. That could be a potential scenario here. Of course, it depends on the leaks, and we are going to touch on a quick leak for the next promo that is coming on Friday. We don't have really a lot of news on it, but I think it's good to mention it. So that's one thing I wanted to mention with these cards, because they're a lot different than Team 1 of Cornerstones. Those Team 1 cards were uber rare, right? Super rare in the market, and some of these cards are pretty rare too, but they got supplied a lot more because of Foot Champs, and that's making them a lot cheaper overall. So that's, if something in this team is interesting to you for your team, maybe you look to pick it up today, use it for a couple of days, and see where the card is at there. Now, let's take a look at what we're talking about today with Player of the Month SBCs, because yesterday we had a new piece of voting that was released for the Player of the Month, and that was the League On. And I'm actually on the Player of the Month official page here on EA's website, and you can also see as I refresh this that the voting has been closed now for Bundesliga and for Serie A. But firstly, what I want to touch on is the League One Player of the Month. If you click this link and open it up, you've got the League One POTM between Vitinha, Tovan, and Del Castillo. Now, if you look at who actually deserves it from this vote, once again, who knows who's going to end up winning this? The League One historically has been the one that you think is the most obvious of who's going to win it. Like, that player doesn't always win. Sometimes there's some favorites that are played here, not only with PSG players, but maybe some Marseille players. We've seen that before. It's all over the place with League One POTM. This one seems to be pretty cut and dry, though. Del Castillo has 3 goals. I believe this is assist as well. Decisive passes. I think this is translated from French to English, which is why it doesn't say assist. I believe that actually is assist. So 3 goals, 2 assists. You got 1 goal for Tovan, and you have 3 assists for Vitinha. I had to double check the stats to make sure that actually is the stat there. But you know, I think Del Castillo would be the front runner for this, but Vitinha, it's possible. It is absolutely possible that he can win this award. And imagine Vitinha on top of all the other crazy Player of the Months that we are expecting to get. That would be an absolutely unreal card. Now, I will say, Del Castillo would be a great cheap beast. If you take a look at his gold common card, base card, he's got great play styles. He's 4-star, looks very, very good for a wing player. I think he can play right mid, right wing maybe, but that's a good potential card. But it's not just Ligue 1 that's looking interesting, right? Since this voting is closed, that means we are getting close to the Bundesliga and the Serie A Player of the Month releases. And honestly, guys, we might be getting as close as just a couple days from now. I think it might be Thursday, because that was the days in previous years where Bundesliga and Serie A both were released. Sometimes they were released on the exact same day. Other times they were a week apart. It just kind of depended when the votes went out and when the awards were awarded, right? Kane and Pulisic are the front runners for those. It's not a guarantee that they win, of course, because Claudia Pina did not win the Liga F Player of the Month SBC, unfortunately. But both of those have a lot of hype. I would say Christian Pulisic has more hype in terms of a meta card on this game. And if Pulisic is going to win, you know, you might want to keep an eye on some of those Milan players, maybe a Rafael Leao. I don't know about Mike Magnan necessarily, but just keep an eye on some of those Milan players. Serie A links, you could see a few of those move, because Serie A is one of the leagues that when you get a Player of the Month SBC released in that league, a lot of times you see cards move links to those Serie A cards. Think of like some of the Serie A SBCs we've had in the past, when it's a very cheap, it's a very meta card. A lot of people don't run Serie A in their main squad, so they have to go buy some players to link up to that. If Pulisic's card is like crazy value and has crazy stats, then this could be an SBC that makes some of those Serie A cards move, especially Heroes. I'm going to shout that out for sure. It's not a guarantee yet that he wins, but he's the front runner. Kane's the front runner for Bundesliga. Of course, we've had a lot of Bundesliga links with the Goretzka SBC and other promo cards. We have a Luis Diaz promo card that is out. A lot of meta Bayern cards there. So we're expecting these two on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, maybe basically Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We're going to get one of these two or both. And then on Friday, we should be getting Erling Haaland. The Premier League Player of the Month SBCs almost always drop on Fridays early. It's like 1 p.m. UK time or sometimes 11 a.m. It's like really early compared to the normal content drop. And Erling Haaland is, of course, the front runner for that and kind of the obvious winner of this award, we do believe, and that might be a little bit more of an expensive SBC. Now, a Player of the Month SBC that's going to come out before all of this is this one, the page that I've kept clicking on here on accident. Claudia Pina has not won the Player of the Month, and Luani has. This has been decided now for a couple of days. Of course, we had the La Liga Player of the Month of Mbappe released on Friday. There's actually a potential that this Luani SBC would be dropped today, so be watching out for that. We could have our first Player of the Month SBC of the week post Mbappe starting today with Luani. So keep an eye out for that. But for the Pulisic, for the Kane, and for the Erling Haaland, and then potentially the Vitinha, if he is to win, do we need to invest in fodder? All these SBCs are coming out. One of them is bound to slap, right? Or at least they're going to have some SBC demand because those are some pretty big name players, even if only 2 of the bigger name players win, right? I think that 88s, we were kind of shouting them at like 10,000 coins yesterday. They never really went that low, to be completely honest. After squad battle rewards, they were 11K. They kind of went up a little bit. But as you can see, after the content drop yesterday, I think a lot of people are on the same page as what we're talking about here. They're seeing an opportunity to invest in fodder, especially 88s, because 88s look lower compared to the rest of the fodder market, in my opinion. Remember that the 87 rated cards right now are inflated a lot extra because of the max 86 hero pack that is still available as an SBC, which requires a 87 rated card. That's why these are pretty high in price. Usually 3,000 coins of a difference between an 87 and an 88 is like, that's a little close, especially when these 88s were like 10 to 11K and these cards were also 9 to 10K. That's a pretty close range there, meaning that 88s are kind of undervalued if there were to be an SBC to come out to require them. So if you can get 88s under 12K, I think that's a good price still. I'll raise my buy price there to 11,000 coins, and that's more of an investment that you could probably sit on and wait to see rise until this weekend. And I also throw in, maybe you start looking at some 89s, because Erling Haaland, even a Harry Kane SBC, would probably be a couple 100,000 coins. A Pulisic would be a couple 100,000 coins as well. I mean, all of these cards have special items. Haaland has an inform, Kane has an inform, Pulisic has an inform. So that means that their Player of the Months are going to be the exact same rating as the inform or above it, and all of their informs are at least over 100K. Kane's, of course, was 200 with the crazy spike for the Mbappe. Pulisic's is 220K, and Haaland's 500,000 coins. I think 89 rated could be an investment too. Try to get them under 18,000 coins, and then hope for the best with those SBCs if you do want to make that investment. Still a little risky, I think, but if you like fodder and that's your favorite type of investment, I think we have opportunity this week. Also would shout Rodri for 30,000 coins or below, maybe 31K max. I think that's a good place to be too. Again, guys, for fodder, get on bids. That'll be a great place to go and get those. And any day that we have supply, which technically we're still getting a bit of supply from weekly rewards, any day of supply will be a great day to be bidding on those cards. Now, the last investment that is a lot safer but may have a lot longer of a potential rise are 84 rated informs. I've been mentioning these for the last couple of days, but Schrader, Flama Benitez, you've got the Limer card here, you've got the Koke, you've got the Rafa, all these 84 rated informs that are in this current Team of the Week. I know they got supplied a bit more than like Team of the Week 2 84 rated cards, like Raum, who's 14,000 coins, or I think in Team of the Week 1, there was the Mallard, who was 13,000 coins. Those are, you know, rare cards. They're up a little bit already, but stock for sure one of each of these 84 rated Team of the Week in your club, because if one or two or all of these POTM SBCs end up requiring an inform or two, that's going to make informs probably lift off the ground, at least maybe to just 12, 13, 14K for some of those 84 rated informs that are much more useful in an SBC than an 80 rated inform card there. So that's kind of my thoughts on Player of the Months right now. And the last thing I would say is, if you have an Erling Haaland inform, if you have a Pulisic inform tradable in your team, this would be a great time to think about selling off that card just ahead of the Play of the Month SBC released. I mean, I know we've had a bit of a market crash here, but you look at the price of the Mbappe compared to where he was when the Play of the Month SBC was released. I mean, he's 2.6 mil now. 2.6. I mean, before, the market crashed a whole bunch, he was still 2.8 mil after the SBC released, and now he's down even further. This could hurt some of the other informs, as we mentioned, for Pulisic, Kane, and Holland on the market already. So that's just one thing to mention as well with POTM SBCs incoming. Now, I mentioned icon pack news a little bit earlier in the video as well, as the Max 86 Hero pack expires this week on Wednesday. Our thought yesterday was maybe it would be time for the icon, right? We talked about how there was the icon embellishment cosmetic evo that was in that section of the game. And yesterday, one of the leaker tweeters, Georgie, not a common leaker tweaker, but he's got leaks stuff from time to time. Leaker tweaker, did I just say that? Leaker tweeter from time to time. He's got the leaks. Foot Police responds to him and says, no, at least not this Wednesday. So our suspicions and our tinfoil hat theories, if you will, are not going to come true. It sounds like this Wednesday, and maybe next Wednesday for the first icon pack of the year. But of course, guys, watch out for Twitter for some more leaks and news. Did we get all the bombazos? The bombazo leaks that Foot Police was tweeting back a couple of weeks ago. Like, did we get all those now, or are we still waiting on some of that? I don't know. But again, the pack code is the real leak. When we saw the Max 86 base hero upgrade pack added to the pack code last week, and that was tweeted out by Foot Scoreboard, then we knew for sure that pack was coming. If we see that pack code added today or tomorrow for an icon, then fodder is going to jump up. The market is going to drop, but that seems way less likely for this week. Now, let's wrap up with Monday's content today. And we'll talk about first the end of Foot Champs, because technically now Foot Champs is not just on the weekend. It's not just the weekend league like it used to be. We've got all day today on Monday to finish off our Foot Champs games, which means there will be some prices that could dip again later in the evening. Maybe some of the Cornerstones 2 cards have another little bit of a buying potential as people sell off their teams from getting weekend league rewards. But usually there's less people playing on Mondays overall throughout the world than there are on the weekends. So that's just one thing to mention, but a lot of, I think, the gameplay demand today is going to be in the tournaments, the Cornerstones tournament qualifier, and then, of course, in-division rivals, as people will start chasing after their points and then also re-qualifying for the weekend league as well. I think that's something worth noting, that weekend league rewards do not give us quality points. We have to go back into rivals and play to build up to get back to the weekend league and Foot Champs for next weekend. So that's just one thing gameplay wise. It's going to be a heavy gameplay day today, which is why I do like some of those lower rated cards. That's why I picked up a couple of Mbumos here once again, right around 10,000 coins with the Chem Styles. So watch out on the market. If you see prices you like, I wouldn't hesitate too much to go and pick up those players. Other Monday content today that we're expecting would most likely be a 77 times 2 upgrade pack once again, because we've been getting those each and every Monday on this game. The one from last week has expired. Probably get another one of those today. Hopefully it's unlimited repeatable. And then player SBC wise, we have one NWSL Squad Foundations card still leaked with Turner, striker card. But we also have this Evander, and this Evander actually could cook, guys. His base gold card has got incisive and long ball. I think he's got technical and game changer as well. Cam and CM, and maybe striker with pretty decent roles. I think he has playmaker. I don't know if he has plus, but it's at least a plus in that playmaker part for the Cam role. That's a decent card. Those are official stats there for him, and he's kind of a popular player in the MLS as well. I'm not going to go buy Messi or go buy Donovan for this, but if that SBC ends up being really good value, I could see a few of your MLS links actually push up in price a little bit. I mean, there aren't very many strong links with FC Cincinnati to this card, like special card wise in the game, but you pick out a Sonny, you pick out a Messi, and you maybe get a hero or something, you get boosted club chemistry with Evander, so that's going to help him out personally. Maybe you throw in an MLS manager and you're going to have some good chemistry there, but that's just kind of like a sneaky SBC to be on the lookout for. He had a really sick TOTS card last year too, if you guys remember that. So that's kind of the content that we're looking for today. The SBC, the upgrade pack SBC, and maybe a flash rush event, but maybe not as well, because we do have the live tournament that's going on right now as well. So watch out for the campaign section here. If there is a flash rush event, it would be in here. Last thing I want to mention, two things actually. First of all, somebody went 15-0 in Weekend League with a full bronze team. G freaking G's to Broomy JC, a pro player. That is unreal, man. A full bronze team. Sure, he's using some like ones that have decent stats, but that is fair play. And that's a tweet that is kind of going around right now in the community that is just wild. G freaking G's. That takes a lot of skill, and that's pretty cool. I don't feel like that's been possible in an Ultimate Team for a really long time. I remember like hashtag Harry doing that. Harry Hesketh doing that back in the day when it was like 40 games in FUT Champs. That was like what, FIFA 17, FIFA 18. But now in the old FC 26 ages, in this era with a bronze team, that's pretty wild. Now, this is the last thing I just wanted to touch on in the video here. FC 26 ratings reload prediction. This is just what we're expecting for Friday. These are predictions. There's a couple PSG cards in here, which is interesting. But again, on EA's website, when you go and look at the FC26 ratings page on their website, there's been the thumbs up and the thumbs down, like the voting process for this. But I feel like they didn't make a really good concerted effort to talk about this much. If there truly is a upvote downvote situation that we can do here, like you see, I've upvoted a couple of players I thought underrated. I thought Lamine Yamal was voted correctly. I think I voted for Harry Kane. I said he was he was underrated, right? I voted there because, of course, he got a downgrade after scoring all the goals that he did. You know, this was not really advertised, I feel like, too much. And maybe there's still time to go in here, but I would imagine that EA's probably picked out all the cards for this based on what the community voted and didn't vote. So I don't know, but this just has to be a part of the ratings reload promo, right? Because then they can come out and say, these cards were upgraded or downgraded based on your feedback in the community. Like these ratings refresh for the ratings reload promo. So that's kind of what we're looking for. This is the official card design for that promo. We're just on the lookout for official news about that promo that is coming on Friday. It will be the end of Cornerstones and the boosted club chemistry, and it'll be the beginning of ratings reload or ratings refresh. Oh, look, 2 more Mbumos that I kind of forgot about there. So that's going to be the video for me today, guys. We'll get some investments in. We'll get some gameplay going and maybe some upgrade packs today on a Monday. I'll catch you guys in the stream today. Of course, if you want to drop in, we'll be live on Twitch. We'll be live here on YouTube as well around the content drop time and an hour before, just to check out everything, make some coins, and just vibe out on a Monday, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a thumbs up on it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. Great Monday. Peace.